Thanks, and welcome on back to She's Diabetic. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Andrea. I have been a type 1 diabetic for over 20 years, and this is just a channel all about that, my life with type 1 diabetes. For those of you who have followed my COVID vaccine journey thus far, thank you so much for all your encouraging words and healing wishes. I really appreciate it. I had a pretty rough go with the first vaccine, and here I am on the day of my second dose. It has been 2 months and 8 days since my first dose. I got the AstraZeneca, so this I'm sure will be the same because that's how they're doing it. I have high hopes that this is not going to be as rough as round one because round one was really rough. So I will talk to you on the other side. And just like that, all done. I didn't get a sticker, so didn't even happen really, but like it was like a military operation. It was so excellent. I had it in my right arm this time, had it in my left arm last time. But yeah, just wanted to check in real quick, and I'll talk more to you in a little bit. And just like that, it's like I never left. Okay, so just got back. I walked home actually majority of the way, which was lovely. It's a beautiful day outside in London. That was military. It was so slick how they had it done. It was in a hotel. You went in, you filled out a form, you put your NHS number, you put which arm you wanted it in. I got it in my right. And you followed these dots on the floor to see where to go to next, and you spoke to somebody to kind of check you in. Then you went and waited in these chairs that were socially distanced, in these kind of rows that fed you into the doctor that gave you your shot. That doctor asked a couple questions. They said, what was your reaction like on the first one? Just kind of gave you an idea of what to expect, and said, you know, if you have bad symptoms for 2 days, you should see a doctor, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was just so impressive. I was probably in and out in 10 minutes, maybe, yeah. And the doctor did mention if I wanted to take some paracetamol, if things got bad, or if I had a fever or anything come up, or preemptively. This I did not do my first round. I actually got really caught off guard with the fever and the aches and the body aches and everything like that. So I've come prepared this time. It's an hour post-vaccine. I don't have any aches or pains or anything like that, but because my first dose was so strong of a reaction, I am going to go ahead and take some paracetamol preemptively. They did also say, having this water reminds me, they said keep really hydrated, which was interesting. I wasn't told that before. So paracetamol down the hatch. Paracetamol, I have plenty should I need to take more in, I think it's a 6-hour interval. I'm about to have dinner. Blood sugar wise, I am low right now. You can see I'm 72, straight arrow. I had a little bit of a low, but that was very much my own fault because I took a correction dose and then I ended up walking home, and I thought I was gonna take the bus, but the traffic was so bad. So I had glucose tablets, but my walking and everything, it did not time out well. But I'm gonna have dinner now and drink a lot of water. Basically, the preemptive paracetamol was like my biggest takeaway from the first dose. So I'm very glad to be doing that. I'll check in with you in a little bit. Hey, you're in the vlog. Yeah. Just a little bit later in the evening now. We're just having a little post-dinner walk because I've got a little bit of a stubborn blood sugar. 166 side arrow going down. I don't think I'm going high because of the vaccine. I think it's just because I've kind of been a little bit erratic with my movement and food today. So there's nothing really that unusual about what's happening, but just thought I'd sort of fill you in. And for those of you who don't know this guy, he's my fiance, David. Hi. He features in several videos, and we're gonna have a Q&A video coming soon, but I digress. Still feeling good. Still feeling good. How was your vaccine?
I didn't have any side effects at all.
No, look at you. None for the first dose or for the second, right?
No, not one.
He had Pfizer though. He had Pfizer in the States.
Yeah.
So, lucky boy. Brief little update. Where are we at?
124 with 2 arrows going down.
That's it. The magic of walking. You've seen this before, haven't you?
Yeah.
It is several hours later, it's almost midnight, and I am just getting into bed now. I am feeling pretty good. I've had a few kind of spurts of feeling a little bit hot and then cold and whatnot, but no problems really there. I have been taking my temperature, haven't had any spikes in temperature. I've been moving my arm a lot. Of course, this is what David calls the train conductor, which I think is the technical term for it. My arm's a little bit sore, but not bad, honestly, at all. Yeah, I feel fine, really. I feel very, very fine. For my first dose, I was really, really, really unprepared when I went to bed, and I went to bed feeling pretty crappy. So this time, I'm not letting that happen, and I'll show you my whole setup here. So basically, I've actually set up like an extra table on my bedside with everything. So I've got glucose tablets in case of low blood sugar, thermometer in case I need to check my temperature, blood sugar machine in case of Dexcom failure or anything like that. Don't anticipate it, but just remaining prepared with that. Then I've got my ketone testing device, again, in case I need to test ketones if I'm feeling bad. And then I've got my paracetamol, of course, and 2 paracetamol there that I will take just before going to sleep. So for those of you who watched my first vlog, nighttime is where I really dropped the ball. I didn't have painkillers. I didn't have my ketone testing device with me on my bedside. I really didn't have all these things. So it might look like I'm going a bit over the top here, but I'm like learning from my own horrendous experience, basically. Blood sugar wise, everything has been really stable. I had that little dip before when I walked back, then tiny bit of a rebound, and now pretty stable. Definitely going a little bit low. I'm actually currently 80 with the side arrow going down. My T-Slim with the Control IQ has cut out, so I might be able to get away with not treating that low. I'll keep an eye on it. But if not, got my glucose tablets. All in all, feeling very good, feeling very prepared, feeling very positive, and ready for a good night's sleep. And I will check in with you guys in the morning or anything exciting happens overnight. And to quote Adele, hello from the other side. It's 5 to 6 right now, and that is almost exactly to the letter 24 hours after I had my second dose. Are you ready for it? I have had 0 symptoms, pretty much. So, I went to bed, I was all prepared. I had a very good attitude about it, but I was a bit trepidatious, like, okay, this is what happened last time I went to bed. I woke up, it was real bad. I was a little bit nervous about it, but I went to bed. I did take 2 more paracetamol before bed, as you will have seen, and I woke up, and I was tired when I woke up. That's the only thing. I was tired, so I went back to sleep for several more hours. So I probably slept about 4 more hours than I would traditionally sleep. But I felt great. I even slept on my right-hand side, and there's a little tenderness there, but like hardly really at all. Like I can touch it, and it's just a tiny bit tender, but no fever, no high blood sugar. To give you a look at my blood sugars, I had like a hilariously flat graph overnight. One of those things that like never happens, but of course it happened the night after I got my vaccine. But anyways, currently I'm sitting at 133 side arrow, and if I give you my graph of the last 24 hours, that was that beautiful overnight flat line I had. I've had a bit of a dip and then a rebound this afternoon. Again, my own fault. There was some impromptu walking that occurred. I'm like, in some ways, I'm like, did I even get the vaccine? Like,
I was so expecting a horrendous reaction. And even the doctor told me, like, if you had a bad reaction with the first, you might have similar with the second. They sort of said that to like prepare me, which I was like, oh God, please. But I don't know if it's the paracetamol. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm not moving flat, because I was moving. I was in the middle of a house move during that time of my first dose, so maybe it was the stress of that driving it. Maybe, look, I don't know, not a scientist, but I feel great, and I feel so relieved, both from the sense of I didn't have any reaction, which I thought I might, but also from the sense of like, oh my gosh, I now have both shots. And I know it takes 2 weeks, I believe, to get the full potential of immunity, but I'm feeling very excited about that too. And that sort of caught me off guard. I've sort of been going through like the motions of the whole thing, but not really narrowing in on like, hang on, this is for a purpose, and this purpose is to not get COVID, hopefully. I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled. That's all I can say. I would say the main thing that I did differently was I prioritized a bit more of hydration, which of course I've always got my bottle near me, but I'm not the best at hydrating. So I tried to prioritize that. And then the paracetamol. I haven't taken any paracetamol today. I did go out for a walk. I wasn't planning on leaving the flat at all today, but then I felt really good and it was a beautiful day outside, so I decided to go out. I'm definitely not gonna leave this here. I will do another check-in before I wrap this video up, but my overnight, so good. Very, very, very happy about that. That's my update for now. All right, so it has been 1 week and 2 days since my second dose, and I just thought enough time has passed that I'd like to wrap this up, give you a final update, and that is your girl is feeling great. I really struggled for weeks after my first dose, thus my waiting to do a little update because I didn't know if anything would arise over time, but nothing has arisen over time. I feel great, and I feel very grateful for that anyways, but then also very grateful for that in comparison to my first dose because I know how hard-hitting that was. I wanted to mention, of course, you all know this is just my experience. So I cannot say this is going to be the blanket experience for everyone, of course, and I know you know that. But I did want to say I posted on Instagram a little update after my night after the second dose. And a lot of people messaged me on Instagram saying, oh my gosh, I'm really worried for my second dose. I, like you, had a hard time with my first dose, and I'm very, very nervous and anticipatory and scared and everything like that. So for those of you that have had this experience, I'm only one person, right? I can't say this is going to be your experience, but if my experience, you can learn something from it, which is the entire point of my making this video, or if from my experience you can take a little reassurance that possibly there's another way after the vaccine, then that's the entire point of this video. But I did want to mention on Instagram that if you are feeling the same way, you are certainly not alone, because loads of those messages came into me on Instagram, and also a lot of messages down below. Which, speaking of, if you have, well, just whatever your experience has been, if you feel comfortable, please share it down below, because that kind of populates this video with more people's experiences, which is what I'm extremely keen to do, because I think the more information we have and can share, the better. Like I say, I'm only one, so I'm happy to share my experience, but I'm also very grateful to anyone who would be up for also sharing their experience down below. That would be awesome. So as always, we can just get a conversation going, compare tips and tricks. If there's anything I haven't done in this video or didn't do throughout my process that you did that worked well for you, or equally mistakes that you made that you wouldn't want to repeat, this is just such a value to us as a community, I think, if we can get the conversation going down below. So as always and forever, I always want to remind you guys that you are not alone. We have gone through this global pandemic and are still going through it together. And there's been a sort of camaraderie around that, which has been
quite lovely in the midst of something so horrific. So I just kind of want to make sure that you guys hear these words. You are not alone. We are going through this all together, and I really, really hope that you guys are getting access to the vaccine as quickly as possible, as and when and where you are and as it becomes available. I wish you guys a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Of course, I wish you great blood sugars, straight CGM lines, quick, painless, and easy access to the COVID-19 vaccine. But most of all, and most importantly, and something I think helped me on my second dose, was keeping a happy, healthy mind with it all. So I wish you guys that, a happy, healthy mind with it all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.